Good evening. I'm Pipa Mutok, a member of Philippine Science High School Alumnus Batch 88, and um, I, as well as my batchmates, founded and started a project called AghamRoad.ph.
What is AghamRoad.ph?
AghamRoad.ph is a portal that can accept donations from. It's like a microsite, and it's not really a microsite. It's a full website, and basically it can accept money. The unusual thing about it is that it's a place. It's like a place on the web, a virtual place where teachers can ask for something. Actually, Philippine Science High School teachers can ask for something that they need for their classroom in order to fulfill, let's say, their dream, or parang fulfill a particular kind of objective that they want for their classroom. So they can ask for the materials they want for there, and donors from all over the country or all over the world can visit that site, and usually there's no forum or venue for all of these alumni to meet the specific teachers in Philippine Science. But this particular portal, AghamRoad.ph, is a way for them to virtually meet.
Okay. What was your inspiration with when you came up with AghamRoad? I understand that you were a teacher before in Ateneo.
Yes.
So was there something there in that former job that made you think of this is a nice project for Pisay?
Actually, this was actually a gift that my batchmates donated to the school, to the Philippine Science High School system. Usually, when the Silver Jubilarians in our school, the Silver Jubilarian alumni in our school, donate something or give something back to the school on their Silver Jubilee. Our batch wanted to do something that was unusual, that was sustainable. And because I was, two of us who were very active in the batch, Professor Richard Cruz of the Asian Institute of Management, and myself, I was a former, at that time I was a teacher in the Ateneo High School. I taught math, and we always dreamed of making a difference in education. And because both of us came from Philippine Science High School, science education has a special place in our hearts, and we really thought, and I think the country agrees, or a lot of our policymakers agree, that really science and technology education is one of the ways that our country can really grow. If we improve science and technology education in the Philippines, especially in basic education, we believe that there's definitely something there that can help our country be more globally competitive.
What was that that advocacy? How is that now translated into your gift, which is AghamRoad.ph?
It's really, we went really micro. What happened was we actually pegged this with an award-winning crowdfunding site called DonorsChoose.org. In DonorsChoose.org, their market, or rather their clients, are all public schools in America and the US. We decided to do this for our school, our alma mater, Philippine Science High School. But although we came from Philippine Science High School NCR campus, at that time there's only one campus when we graduated. But now, at the present day, there are 13 Philippine Science High School campus all over the country. And so we opened it up to that system. And again, it's our small way of encouraging our teachers to be more creative and to dream outside of the box, or think outside of the box when they plan for their classes. Because the question that we ask them is, they make a proposal and we put it on the site. And the main question is, what do you want the students to learn? And trying to answer that, of course, it's easy to just say a topic, say polynomial functions, right? But then how do you want your students to learn? And as teachers, we know that there are many different strategies, and we want it to be more student-centered. And usually when we can make the lesson more student-centered, it usually entails a little bit of materials. It doesn't have to be something big like an iPad or going on a field trip or anything like that. It could be as simple as, let's say, an app, which could, iPad din yun, no? But anyway, an app, let's say, on the iPad, which you can project, and you can show maybe a graphing app. And you can easily, let's say, graph all these polynomial functions, and the students can themselves now make their own generalizations about the behavior of polynomial functions. It could be as simple as that. But then they might not have the immediate resources to be able to get these materials. And so this portal will allow them to make a proposal. And we also have a lot of batchmates who want to give, or other alumni who want to give, but they say, I'm just a normal, not so rich person. I'm not a Henry C. or, and I don't have millions to give. Here, because it's crowdfunding, they can give as little as 100 pesos to, let's say, a project that they want to endorse. And they know the details of the project.
Because it's there in the website.
Because it's there in the website. It's described there in detail. And so, good thing for the donor, it engages more donors because you don't have to be a big-time donor, someone with a lot of money, millions to give, to be able to help. And so that's why we call it like a meeting place, a small meeting place where, again, donors and teachers can come and meet and talk about these things.
So actually, AghamRoad, the content of AghamRoad is coming from the teachers.
Yes. So we asked the teachers to make proposals. Of course, we thought it would just take off like that. We just give them a template and they'll think of all these ideas. Rich and I, being teachers ourselves, we were that way. But we taught Richard teaches in an international school. I used to teach in a private school. And so, we had the luxury of thinking of, our loads weren't that much. We could be creative. We had intelligent students who had books, who could buy their books, And so, it wasn't that big of a... it was an everyday thing for us to be innovative in our classroom. Of course, the reality is that Philippine Science High School is still a public school. And although they have a budget, the resources are still limited. There's still red tape. So, our teachers, when we asked them to make proposals, the ones that came out were, I can't say disappointing, but not what we expected, because they still asked for, of course, their basic needs first, like a projector, or calculator, or a piano. It wasn't really rooted on a particular lesson that they wanted to do, which was what we envisioned. So we realized and adjusted, and we realized we had to teach them how to dream for their classroom.
Because they will have to make the proposals themselves and sell it.
Yes, and sell it. It has to be marketable. Of course, if a donor will see a projector, who would want... it's not as exciting, let's say, as the robotics kit that the Bohol campus asked for, or even the centrifuge was exciting because the way it was written, the way that they were planning to use the centrifuge was exciting. There's even a proposal on bird watching, which is an extracurricular activity, but also related to science. So there are all these proposals eventually that came in. But if you look at it, it's not as much as we would like. We barely have 10, I think, there.
What were your favorite projects that the teachers have made proposals with?
Oh, I mentioned some of them already.
My centrifuge and
my personal favorite, and it's something that was already, it's still there on the site. It's power tools.
Okay.
our Philippine Science High School to have a new subject. Well, we didn't have it during our time. Oh my gosh, I'm saying our time. But anyway, during our time, we didn't have that. It's called AdTech. And there, they are able to create things. And as in, they cut wood, they build something. So it's a simple proposal for power tools, and the way it's written is power tools to build things.
Okay.
And then the way it's just interesting, you know, because you know that the students can do a lot of things with just those power tools. So I think that's exciting. Although it hasn't taken off yet, I think I have to market that.
Okay.
That project.
So that what happens to projects like those that didn't take off as you were expecting it to be?
On our policy guidelines, because we patterned it after donorschoose.org, it's supposed to expire after 3 months. The reason being, we want there to be a learning curve also for the teachers. You know, if it doesn't sell after 3 months or it's not completed after 3 months, then you don't get the funding, because the funding will only be given to the project if it is fully funded. So if after 3 months it's not fully funded, then the teacher either has to rewrite it so that it's more marketable, or take it down,
Okay.
or rescind it. So
But what happens to the money if money has started coming in, except that hindi siya na-complete?
so that if that's the case, then donor choose AghamRoad.ph contacts the donors, and then we ask them to reallocate their
Okay.
donations.
So they have an option to do
Yes, they definitely have the option to do that.
Your greatest learning when you were selling AghamRoad. I believe that you went on road shows when you were
Yes.
selling the idea of AghamRoad. What was your greatest learning from when you were presenting it to the teachers and to the schools?
Well, again, the biggest thing is really, it sounds negative, but really, it brings to light the challenges we have in education in our country, because it's a small micro-pilot thing, but you know that it reflects the problems of education in the Philippines. For example, teacher training.
Yeah.
You know that not that our teachers in Philippine science, I don't want to say this, but you know that they are eager to learn, but they don't necessarily have the resources. And once you give them something challenging, they because they're so used to being limited,
Okay.
so they think that way. So really, it just challenges us more to think of ways to bring this out of where it is, because there's so much potential.
Mahirap pa silang
Philippine
kumpinsihin
education.
yung mga teachers in Pisay to adapt to this kind of creative.
Not
doing-
really.
Okay.
In terms of convincing them, because this is voluntary, in terms of convincing them, we had a good pool of volunteers. It's just that, writing the proposals in a certain way. These are technical people. A lot of them are science teachers, so they're not marketers. So, teaching them how to make it sexier, or even dream bigger, because sometimes they would just ask, let's say, for petri dishes, parang it's so
Okay.
boring and unsexy. So try to be a little bit more creative. So just a little push in the right direction. And unfortunately, we only have volunteers also to do these roadshows and trainings. So we are unable to do constant follow-ups. So, and also the rigorousness and the demands on a teacher. They get so wrapped up in all their checking, the grades, even though they want to do this, they don't really have the time for it. So there are a lot of challenges, and that's just one. But we're really excited. We hope we can bring this to where it can go to its full potential.
Like as nice as donors choose, I suppose.
Yes. So I don't know if we can bring this to the public school system. Maybe, maybe not. But our Rich always says, Professor Richard Cruz always says, if you dream big. Dream big na, diba? So, why not, diba?
But in the long run, that's what your plan is for AghamRoad, to be at least man lang to the 13 other systems of Pisay.
Yes, the 13 other campuses. Definitely. For now, we're only, I think, in 3. But we hope to be able to at least set foot and have at least the opportunity to tell them about this. That's at least have that. And then tell them that this is available. And then sana, they respond well and they start turning in their proposals. Try being more creative in their classrooms through this.
The proposals that you received, saan siya galing? Sa NCR lang, or they were also proposals from other?
We have, up on the site right now, again, visit AghamRoad.ph. On the site right now, we have probably 2 to 3 proposals from other campuses.
Okay.
We have proposals from the Bicol campus. I'm not sure if we have a proposal from the Iloilo campus or if it's been fully funded already. So,
but most of them are from NCR.
Most of them are.
Pero nanggaling pa rin siya. I mean, the fact that there were 3 coming from the provincial, paano nila nalaman that they could pitch projects that they want?
There was one, I had one opportunity to speak to all the system directors. They had a meeting here in Manila, and we are very lucky because the director of the NCR campus is an alumnus, and she's very supportive of this. She's very, very supportive of us, and she was the one who looked for time for me to be able to present there. And so they found out about it. I just gave the email address, and then the teachers corresponded with me, with us. I say me because I'm in charge of the email. So we were able to correspond with them, and they talk among themselves.
Okay.
So they found out, and some teachers really asked us about it, and that's why we're happy. In Bicol, I'm not sure if they were able to. Richard is in charge of the training. I'm not sure if they were able to go to Bicol, but I'm pretty sure they went to Iloilo, and they also went to the NCR campus, our own alma mater.
Okay. Any last words?
Last word, although our site is still a beta site, I invite everyone out there, whether you're a Philippine Science High School alumnus or not, to visit AghamRoad.ph, www.aghamroad.ph. Just, browse through the projects there. You can comment on them if, you don't want to, if you want to talk about it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/AghamRoad. And visit us, especially to my fellow alumni out there, fellow Philippine Science High School alumni out there. The government and other taxpayers paid for our tuition, for us to study science and technology, for us to be able to get to where we are now. So we never paid tuition when we were in high school. Our parents never did. So, maybe it's time to give back. Our tagline is "Give back to Pisay." It's time to help other scholars out there. Help our school. We're not asking for anything big. Again, you can donate as little as 100, 200 pesos. Or if you're more comfortable with 1,000 pesos. If you're in the States, you can also use your credit cards, $50, $10, it'll help. So, again, please just visit us. Just visit the site, look at it, see if you like it, comment on it so that we can improve it. And don't forget to support science education in the Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you very much.